Comes as a quad-core CPU.
Yeah.
1.6 gigahertz. And how many RAM, you know?
It's one gigabyte RAM and 16 gigabyte memory.
Okay, and there's a micro SD slot.
Yes.
Right.
So micro SD slot, we have the USB, and then we have the HDMI as a connector.
What's the weight of the device, you know that?
The weight? 335 grams.
The 7-inch tablet and 8.9-inch, you know?
It's 500 and around 560, something like that.
Okay, so this is the Tolino app, right?
This is now the Tolino app. This is now pretty much what we call last activities, which pretty much shows here more like the last book, the last video, the last music song you have kind of listened, read or watched. But then pretty much here you have the different libraries, and as you can see, we're not talking kind of about ebooks or MP3 or MP4, but we kind of call it lesen, or kind of reading, listening and watching. So this is pretty much the central one. As you can see here, music can also be in the background. So pretty much we can also play music while navigating.
There are 4 speakers, right?
It's 4 speakers. So pretty much the speakers are kind of behind those meshes. That means also, especially if you kind of hold it like this, would be a classical use case for listening.
Can I take it around? Okay. So it's similar to the old Nexus 7 backside.
Yeah, pretty much for us it was important when we did the design and also had kind of focus group that people, especially as we kind of still see the reading as a main use case, that the back cover is very important, that kind of you feel it has a grip. Actually people also like this kind of tactile feeling of it, so that was one reason to go for this kind of back one.
Is there a reading mode, special reading mode?
There's in a way a special reading mode in a sense that this is pretty much, for example, the library of the main library. So pretty much books are kind of feeding there in. As you can see here, you can kind of add a new collection for books, or you go in one of the existing ones. You see here the books. Can scroll through the books. You see with the new ones, for example, here as an example, you can search for the books, and if you go to the end, pretty much you can go directly then into the shop. Now I'm not connected, but pretty much you would kind of seamless go into the shop, depending on, for example, if you have bought the tablet with Weltbild, you would come enter the Weltbild shop. Same would approach with Hugendubel or with Thalia and so on.
It will be released in November, right?
Yes.
Next month. It will be available only in Germany.
This will be only available in Germany.
Okay, pricing is
as you heard, pretty much somebody else will tell you then, or you will find it out.
Probably similar to, I don't know.
Some of us didn't hear that. Some of us heard it but didn't know what that meant. So
250 euro or something.
So also here, for example, as an example, you can have different sorting mechanism. And then, as I mentioned before, so you're now in the Tolino app, but within kind of a Stripe, you pretty much can actually access directly, for example, the browser. You can switch back to the Tolino app if you are pretty much on the other side, or go to email. So even though you're right in the middle of the application, you can always jump back and forth to the.
Can you go back to the home screen so I can see the Google interface?
So pretty much, if you go back to the.
It's a default Google Android 4.2.
It's a default one in that sense. So pretty much you can have different applications on the device. We will pretty much add a couple of applications for free on the device to kind of just round up the use cases. But obviously our expectation is that the people will go to the Play Store. It's kind of has full access to the Play Store, and therefore will tailor the device to the needs they have.
Okay, great, thanks.